Hello, this is Caleb with Garvin Sewer Service at 4042 Argonne Way on August the 16th. So we were out in April. I know they did a lot of plumbing work. They also, I think had a backup. We had a system change, so my notes do not reflect everything. But we did have a backup today. Initially stuck a camera down there, and about 10 feet away, I had a block that the camera couldn't get, and I struggled for a long time. I did not pull anything back when I got the line cleared, and then I saw there was a little bit more paper as well as some roots still, so I snaked it a couple more times. Line's extremely hard to navigate. The tenant called, and the tenant is paying. It is a Sunday, and so we are going to go ahead and do our sewer scope, sticking our camera through the cleanout. We are zeroed out the at the entrance of the cleanout, so that's PVC, but then we drop into cast. I just had some water running, so we might have some residual water on the bottom of the pipe. And so right here we do have our other line coming. There's another clean out. That is where Grayson operated on that day. Then we immediately have a 45-degree turn right here. And then we have yet another line. So either the sewer comes from the other bathroom, either coming down this way or the one that we just passed. One of the problems we're having is that stuff's getting hung up. I think this is where the block was because it seemed like I got it relatively quickly. We do have an accumulation of scale, a decent amount of it, so it might be worth the conversation to have a descaling service performed to move out some of the scale that builds up, that's mineralization that builds up on the pipe over time due to the hard water we have here in Colorado. A descaling service uses a different bit. It's a different machine altogether. And we have a good amount of it, so that is something that we're going to want to get addressed. I've snaked this 3 times now and ran a lot of water once the water was pushed down, so we're going to be good for intermittently, but I do recommend a descaler service. We're not going to be able to warranty this work until it gets done. All the work that Grayson did was for plumbing as well as operating from the other side. There were roots that's probably grown in since the last cleaning. This does look like a clean out. It's probably on the floor beneath we got a lot of stuff like storage stuff, so I don't see it, but we might have a clean out there that might help us clean it more effectively in the future. But this clean out was the way to go because the block was upstream from there. So I do recommend a descaling service to clear out the cast iron better. I did run blades multiple times through here. The blades are great for roots, but for scale, we really require a different machine and bit altogether. It's much more effective. That stuff's heavy, so it's hard to wash away. So that would help significantly. So we do have PVC. We transitioned to PVC. I'm having to flip my camera, so I apologize for that. So the screen should reflect the bottom of the drains right here. PVC looks great. There is no outside clean out, so we have to operate from either one of the 2 clean outs that are on the vertical pipes going up, or I don't see that clean out, but there's storage in the way. It may be concreted over, but that might be a way to go. But for the cast, we have to operate from one of the vertical stacks. If we do descaling service, I'd recommend doing it from both cleanouts, and that may help us. The layout of the drain is not the greatest for the flow of paper. It's up to code, but the more turns you have, the more hung up things are going to get. So right here we do have a PVC to clay transition. We did have roots on the left side. You can see they're cut down to the circumference of the drain. They're going to grow back. You cannot cut those out anymore. Those are cleaned very effectively. So those are going to grow back in a year, so you're going to have to clean it with blades once a year to keep the roots at bay. We did have one more spot of roots coming up, and the rest of the clay looked to be in good shape. Was it this one? That clay fitting looks like it might be cracked on the top right side and the top left side. I do believe it is. So at some point I will go ahead and mark it in the yard, so that is for future estimate's sake. We can maybe talk about getting that repaired. Right now it's looking like it's okay, but who knows how long it's going to last. I think the roots were coming in here. They were growing down the pipe. They may be coming through the crack or just the fitting, because that's very close to the fitting. No, it was right here. So it was growing down the pipe, and I've cut that out pretty effectively. Those little bitty strands move out of the way whenever the cable is going down. It kind of like, you can think of like a car wash, how the brushes will move whenever they're rolling over the car, kind of the same concept. So we have more scale, maybe some paper right there. We'll flush the system out. I did have a lot of water running, but okay. So it's looking like, in the meantime, we'll tell the tenants to be careful about how much paper we're using. A descaler service will help with the cast, yearly cleaning for the clay, and then mainly talk about getting the clay crack addressed. I will locate that after the video and then mark it and put that in the invoice notes. Is it a super emergency right now? Not necessarily, but that will break some more at some point, and we definitely want to be mindful of that and fix it sooner rather than later. So 72 feet, or 71 and a half, 72 feet-ish is our city tap. Just those two spots of roots that are cut out effectively at this time. We do have a crack in the clay. I'll mark that and put it in the notes, tell you how deep it is, and mark it in the yard. I won't charge for the locate. I'll just go ahead and do that. And in the cast, we really need to have some descaler service done, so that we can try to prevent this as best as possible. In a perfect world, the cast would get replaced with PVC, because then everything will run more effectively. The Ys are made better now, and it's a smooth pour inside that does not accumulate scale. So those are the things I want to talk to the tenant about. Put that in the notes, and then we can relay that to the landlord. They are taking care of the bill today. It did appear to be a soft blockage in the cast was the problem today. Until we get a descaler service, there will be no warranty on this. And then once the descaling service is done, the cast iron portion will have a warranty at that time. But the crack in the line is always a caveat. If that gives out at any point, there will not be a warranty on that section. Any other questions, refer to the invoice summary, or you can always give Garvin Sewer Service a call. My name is Caleb. Thank you very much for your time.